Hello, welcome to the video. We don't have much time because I need to try to do this as fast as possible. So if you're new here, welcome. Make sure to subscribe, like. Today we're gonna make this banner in like, I don't know, hopefully 3 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, I don't know. Let's go. First to start, we're gonna do file new and we're gonna do 3000 by 1000. This is a Twitter header dimensions. If you want to use this for a YouTube banner, you have to search up YouTube banner dimensions and sort of follow these layouts like 2560 by 1440, and you can see there's the safe areas in here for desktop, and then for like mobile devices is in the middle here. Once you have this, we're gonna go back to our actual Google and look up the character we want. For this, I'm looking up tracer, and to get the correct images to start, we're gonna look up, you're gonna click tools and click color and transparent. By doing this, you can get PNGs, so it's a lot easier to choose what you want. However, I also like doing size large to make sure that it's like high quality image. So I'm going to use this image and just save image as, and it will download. Boom, 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 pop up here. And then I will literally just drag this image in to here. We're gonna try to scale this up a little bit. Boom, boom. I think that's good enough for now. And then we're actually go back to Google and we're gonna find 2 more images. And by doing this, you just look up tracer again. Sometimes you put background, but we're gonna remove the transparent because we want actual images. So you sort of just scroll through and find the ones you want. I'm using this image. I already have them all saved, so I'm just gonna drag them on. But you just find your 2 images that you want. It's gonna work for anybody, not just tracer, but almost like any type of character type of banner. If your image is here, we're gonna make sure this character, your PNG file, is actually above the other images, and you're just gonna lay them out how you would like it. I'm gonna throw this guy here, and I'm gonna I'll flip this one. I want it to be a little bit more out of the way. Now, once we have this, we're actually going to go over here. There's this little masking. Can you see it? Can you see it? This tool right here. You're gonna click that and this will pop up a white thing in right here, and by doing this we could press the brush tool by you pressing B or clicking over here and make sure it's on black. That'll just erase it all, and by doing this we have the 2 images almost like mixed together now. And if you want to bring it back, you could go change it back to white on this layer and you could bring it back. That's why it's better than erasing, and you don't have to rasterize it and lose quality. Now here comes the fun part. First we're gonna click on black and white down here. Then we're gonna create another new layer, which we're gonna go up to edit, fill, and make sure we set it to 50% gray. Click OK. Then what we're gonna do is go up to filter gallery, where we're going to select the halftones. You're gonna click halftones and put 30 dot, and then you're gonna click torn edges, and then you could just put up to 2613.1. That's what I have it currently at, and this creates this cool halftone effect. Then we're gonna click OK. Then to combine this, we're gonna do multiply to get a better aspect for what I'm going for in this header. I'm gonna make the background orange and yellow, like this cool gradient color. You can just leave it black and white if you really want to, which I think it adds a cool effect to it. However, I want to add more color to this image, so I'm gonna go back down here and click on color balance. Now I'm just gonna mess pretty much with the yellows and reds and try to make a cool orange. So first the midtones and then the highlights. I've done a little bit too much, but if we click on color, it tones it down a little bit. If we lower the opacity just a tad, see there, I lowered it just a little bit, messing with the opacity and just like the color balance. You can constantly go back to it and adjust it some more. I'm also real quick, this layer right here, I'm gonna lower the fill down so it's not as intense. That's at 74%. This is at 100, 74, 174, 100. You get it. Now I'm gonna add rectangles. I click on the rectangle tool down here and you just drag. If you wanna hold shift, it makes it more like a square, but like we're making rectangles. The reason why I'm doing this is when I see this halftone effect, I just think of like comic books for some reason. And so that's why I wanted to do white here, or just like a cool outline of this. Now, if you hold shift and drag now, you could have free transform over it. Once you get that size down to what you want, make sure it's behind the tracer, this tracer right here, because we want it to be that main image to be popping out of the frame. And so like the background's the comic book and this tracer is like the real one. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. So then we could just hold off and shift and you could drag it, or just off will move it. Shift just locks it in place. So I'm click off again and then rotate it. Hold shift when you rotate it so it rotates a nice angle. And then do that again. To add a cool effect to the rectangles on the sides here, I'm gonna click on this. If you don't have auto select, it won't show up. So click on that if you want to have auto clicks without going to directly in here. So you auto click that, then you hold control and you click on one of these corners and you could drag it out a little bit. This changes like a perspective, it makes it more of like a polygon, and I think this adds cool dimensionality to the rectangle, so not just this plain perfect thing. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the main aspect of this, which is this focal point here. To do this, make sure to have him selected, and then press Ctrl J, or right click on this and find duplicate layer. There it is, that thing. Boom. Okay. Then make sure to select the bottom one, so this person here, the one that's under, and then go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. From here, I have it set at 187. You could go however high you want, but I think 187 works in this scenario. And I'm only doing it because like for Tracer, it's like she moves fast. Like it's a motion. That's what I want. Click OK, and it should be added. Then we're going to double click on this and click Drop Shadow. Then we have to adjust these settings a little bit. I moved up the size, and then I lowered the spread, lower the opacity, just slight. We don't really want to see it all too much. Then that character is done. Next up, we have the text. So for this text here, this is the text that we're going to create. Me pasted it in here. It honestly looks fine to be in the middle. I created this header to be more of on this side. Now, this text has a lot of different blending modes on it. So I'll take you guys through it one by one. But first, the text that I'm using is Subway Berlin tutorial. I think that's how you spell tutorial. So I'm just going to be sort of copying what I've done because I already did this all. So you could follow me and do the exact same thing as me with this font, but this could work with multiple different types of font. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go to the blending options. You double click on this to open up blending options. And first, we're going to go to gradient overlay. So there's usually a lot of presets, but I made my own for this tutorial, which all you have to do is click one of them and then just adjust this to your needs. I like this one. This works for me. Then we're going to go to stroke. This is where it gets really cool. So for you, there's only probably be one stroke layer here. So click on that. Then it's going to be on color. So switch that to gradient and make your gradient whatever you want again. I'm copying the inside of the inside gradient pretty much. Made it a little bit lighter on the corner. And then have it set to outside. I have it at 27 pixels, but you might need to adjust for what type of text you have. But this works for me. Then you have to click the plus button. The plus button will copy this, but also put it above that layer. In here, we're going to change the color back to color, change it to white, and then lower the size down. And now you have this little sticker thing. Now we're also going to add the drop shadow. I personally would like this a little bit more intense than the other one, so I'm going to increase the size, the spread, and the opacity on it a lot more. Some people hate drop shadows and hate like seeing them at all, so use it at your discretion. If you do too much, it might look not the greatest, but I don't know, I trust you. Then click OK, and we pretty much have finished the header. Actually, real quick, I forgot to actually add the glow onto this text. So go back to your blending options, click outer glow, and these are the settings I have. I have it at 100 opacity, the size at 57 linear dodge. I just used a nice light blue color, and then yeah, now you have your glowy text. And then we finished the header. Wait, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe and do all that stuff. More content soon. I'm back. This is amazing. I don't know, comment hi, I don't know. Anyway, if you want to use these files, I will leave the Photoshop file down below so you can check that out too, and the actual just download, so feel free to do that. But anyway, as always, peace out.